The Christmas cracker, a feature of festivities where two people engage in a low-key tug-of-war for a paper hat, a corny joke and some kind of toy, or bottle opener if you get one of the fancy ones. But how did this pre-dinner staple come to be? The creation's attributed to an English baker and confectioner named Tom Smith. Born in London in 1823, Smith had previous experience of making various cakes and sweets. However, it was a trip to Paris that inspired a creation that would prove quite lucrative for his business and would become a festive favourite. Smith observed a French tradition in which sugared almonds wrapped in tissue paper were exchanged as gifts. These were called bonbons. Upon seeing the original parcels of sugar-covered almonds, Tom Smith returned to London and added his own twist. He added mottos, which were sometimes love poems, to each tissue-wrapped confectionery. The festive and possibly romantic cheer for those who delved into the sugared almonds within a neatly wrapped confectionery gift encouraged future sales for Smith's company. However, to surpass the competition, Smith was inspired to add to the visual and taste-based delight of his products by tapping into another sense: hearing. The most accepted story is that upon hearing the crackle from a log fire and associating it with comfort, Smith decided to create a mechanism that would create a controlled yet surprising bang, designed to create a celebratory atmosphere around any dinner table. How did he achieve this? With two narrow strips of paper, a compound called silver fulminate, and friction. Silver fulminate is an explosive salt that is highly sensitive to friction. When Smith had coated a side of one of his narrow strips with a very small amount of the compound, and a side of the other strip had a rough abrasive surface, all he had to do was layer them one on top of the other and pull them apart horizontally to produce a pop. Smith created the prototype for his cracker in 1847. However, it wasn't until the 1860s that the mechanism for the auditory delight was refined for sale to the public. The packaging of the cracker also changed from the simple tissue-wrapped parcels that Smith observed in Paris to hand-decorated cylinders of varying designs for different occasions. Upon Tom Smith's death in 1869, his son Walter Smith continued his father's innovative approach by adding handcrafted paper hats, and eventually replaced the sweets with toys from around the world. Some crackers today still hark back to the love poems of their ancestors by containing a romantic line or two, but this was predominantly replaced with jokes, riddles, or trivia questions in the 1930s, and in the following decades, items such as perfume and yes, bottle openers became features of certain crackers from companies around the world. So if you're sitting around a table soon that is adorned with festive accessories, probably next to or opposite someone you rarely see at other times of the year, let a cracker bring you together, even if you end up with a short end.